Here's Stephanie Pearson of the UMC volleyball team heading into her final weekend as a player for the UMC volleyball team. First of all, talk about just the emotions going into your senior day as you will wrap up your career this weekend against Minot and Mary at home.
It's definitely bittersweet. I've put in my time and I've been here all 4 years, so it'll be sad to leave the girls because, you know, they're like my family, and since I'm the only senior, I'm going through with it alone, but my teammates have been really supportive, and I'm not a crier, so hopefully I won't cry, but it will be kind of sad.
You know, you talked about how you're the lone senior. You've been the lone member of your class since freshman year. You came in with one other person, Eli Manning, but then it's been you ever since then. So how has that been, just being in a class of your own for 3 years?
It's nice, especially when we do our class photos, because I can be myself and do what I want, but it hasn't really occurred to me. Like, yes, I knew I was the only one in my class, but it hasn't really, like, felt like I was the only one in my class until my senior year, and I'm totally different. I'm on my last everything, pretty much, so it doesn't really feel like I'm the only one. I feel like just a part of the team, and as anyone else, I don't feel separated just because of my class at all.
Yep. Just talk about, you know, what you look to improve most on going into this season and what you think you really have improved on the most as you head into your last week as a Golden Eagle.
I think since my freshman year, I have improved on serve receive, which is a big part of the game because it's the first contact and what starts the play almost essentially rather than the serve. But digging has been a big part of my game, I think, and defensively I've increased my average digs per set, which has been good. It's good to go out with a bang on my senior year knowing that I did something good.
Just talk about, you know, you've led the team throughout most of the year and digs per set and have been a big part of just that, of the defense for the team this year. It's kind of been a defense by committee with everyone chipping in when they need to. Just how has that been compared to, you know, a couple years ago when it was Chelsea Wiesner leading the charge and everyone kind of pitching in when they could, but it was mostly Chelsea getting most of the digs back there.
It was nice to have Chelsea for my freshman year. She was a huge leader. Sophomore year, she was a leader. She was a senior, and I really look up to her. But in a sense of when it comes to her digs, I think the team just needs to accommodate her stats as a whole, and not just one person needs to step up and beat Chelsea. Like, we don't need a libero to step up and beat Chelsea. We just as a team need to play our game, and each person needs to make up for that stat that she had.
Just talk about, you know, you kind of worked into your current role on the team by, you know, kind of being in more of a backup role your first couple years, and then the last 2 years you've been more of a starter. Just talk about how players like Brittany Looker helped you, you know, just learn as an outside hitter and grow as a player.
Brittany was a good example, and I was lucky to have her for 3 years and be outside hitter too behind her my junior year. But like for Brittany's stats as well, we also just need to make up for her stats as a team and not just one person. It was nice playing with Brittany. She was an everyday player. You knew what you were going to get from Brittany on a day-to-day basis. And it was nice playing with Alex Skeeter as well. She was a great athletic outside hitter that I enjoyed playing with and being around as well.
Okay. Just talk about what your plans after volleyball are, and you know, I know you've got an internship right now, and just what are you looking to do with that, or just as a career as you move forward after you get your degree?
I like my internship. I actually love my internship at Northwestern Mutual. I've been there for a couple months now, and it'll be nice to, once the season's done, focus more on my internship and learning more through investments and insurance. I have had a few other interests from people on LinkedIn, some recruiting people and some jobs in the Twin Cities. So hopefully I will stay with Northwestern Mutual, but I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I would like to venture out and see different places and different jobs and what they have to offer, and not necessarily just stick to one. But I could end up at Northwestern Mutual, but I would always like to try other places as well.
Just talk about how you first ended up here from Illinois, and just the journey that was your recruiting process.
It was really interesting that me and Eli were the only two recruits from Illinois, and we were in the same class, and unfortunately she ended up leaving. But my recruiting process was interesting. I committed late. I committed in about March of my senior year of high school, which was late for most people. I think people in the class before me were already committed, and then there was me still in the process. But it was a good process. Like, coach was amazing. The visits were nice, and I committed on his couch on my visit, and then he took me out to the team and was like, "Here, meet your team." And I stayed the night with them. We stayed up really late, me, Morgan, and Hannah, and it was a fun night.
Awesome. Thanks, Steph.